So let's look at this problem solving by using the substitution method. And a question that we get is 6x minus y equals negative 35, and 5x minus 2y is equal to 35. So if we look at this one right here, and let's go ahead and put a star next to that one, we're going to go ahead, and the main thing with substitution is you want to isolate a variable. So if we look at this one, we would do, I'm going to rewrite it, 6x minus y equals negative 35. Well, you know that you subtract 6x to both sides. When you do that, that cancels out here, and you're left with negative y is equal to negative 6x minus 35. Since you can't combine these because they're not like terms. Now, what do you do here if y is isolated but there's a negative in front of it? Well, we're always taught in algebra when it's just x or any variable by itself, it's actually a 1 in front of it. So, if it's a negative x, we know that that's the same thing as negative 1x. So, with that said, we have a negative 1 right here because a y and an x, when dealing with variables, is just the same thing. So what you have to do is you have to divide that negative 1 by everything in the equation. So you divide everything by negative 1. Here that'll cancel out, and now you're left with just y by itself. And then negative 6x over negative 1 gives you a positive 6x. And then this minus 35 or negative 35 over negative 1 gives you a positive 35. And yes, you can also just see it as if you have a negative y is equal to negative 6x minus 35. If you notice, all you have to do is just change the signs, because that's the same thing. That'll be the same exact thing. So once you have that, then you can go ahead and plug it into this equation right here. So now you have 5x minus 2, and you have to substitute the y, and you go ahead and plug in the 6x plus 35 equals 35. And now we want to solve for x. So I'm going to go ahead and clean some stuff up here just so we have room to work. And let's go ahead and continue. So you want to distribute that negative 2. So you're left with 5x. Negative 2 times 6x would give me a negative 12x. And then negative 2 times a positive 35 gives me a negative 70 is equal to 35. Let's combine. So we have 5x minus 12x gives me a negative 7x. So I'm just cleaning everything up here. Minus 70 is equal to 35. We add 70 to both sides. That cancels out. Negative 7x is equal to 105. So we want to go ahead and divide that now, because we want to divide both sides by negative 7 since we're solving for x. And we'll go ahead and see what that equals. So you want to see how many times 7 goes into 105. And if you do the calculation, you'll see that x is equal to negative 15. Great. So you know what your x equals. So now you have to go ahead and you have to solve for your y. So you plug in negative 15, and we can plug that into that equation. So we'll do that right here, and we'll do it in blue so we can see that. So we'll say y equals 6 times negative 15 plus 35. So 6 times negative 15 would give me a negative 90 plus 35, and y will equal 55. So now that you have x and y, you know that your answer for these systems of equations is negative 15 and 55. So, sorry if that was a lot, but just kind of wanted to explain exactly what that was in those terms for this problem. But you'll get negative 15 and 55 as your answer.